Back on Sports Report, Ashley Adamson with you. The Conference of Champions, in case you hadn't heard, they cleaned up in Rio. 55 medals won by current, former, or future Pac-12 athletes, and no school in the nation brought home more medals than our friends on the farm. If Stanford were a country, take a look. It would have finished 10th in the overall medal count, 27, including 14 gold. That is not bad. And the man responsible for all this success, he joins us right now on Sports Report. Let's welcome in the Director of Athletics at Stanford, Bernard Muir. Now, Bernard, I know that you're not going to take credit and responsibility for all the success, but as the athletic director at Stanford, what was it like for you to kind of sit back and watch over the last couple of weeks what all of those unbelievable Stanford athletes accomplished in Rio?
Well, I think there's such buzz and energy around our programs. Obviously, just thrilled to be a part of the Stanford community, to hear so many stories of people going to Rio, people watching on TV, just having a wonderful experience watching our athletes, and 39 of them competing on the global stage. And so it was really terrific just to watch unfold. And as you mentioned, there's so many great stories that came about from those 2 weeks in Rio.
And I'm glad you bring that up because there were so many unbelievable stories. We'd need a whole show just to cover what Stanford did in Rio the last couple of weeks. But in your mind, and I know this is kind of an unfair question, but is there one performance that when you look back on all this that will stand in your mind the most?
Boy, you're going to get me in trouble, but certainly women's swimming comes to mind. What Simone did, Simone Manuel, Maya Dorado, Katie Ledecky, who's incoming freshman. I have to put all of them in kind of one bucket, if you will, but it was just so impressive and inspirational, and many folks are just thrilled, and we can't wait for women's swimming to unfold this year as well, too, as you can imagine.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a pretty good year, I might imagine. And you mentioned Katie Ledecky. She won 5 medals. I'm curious, there's a lot that's been written about whether or not she should forego becoming a pro, forego all of those millions of dollars in endorsement deals, and become a freshman at Stanford. She has decided to do that, and I'm just curious, what is your experience with this young woman? She seems absolutely remarkable.
Well, we think she made a wise decision, first off.
So do we.
But at the same token, I've only had the opportunity to interact with her during a recruiting trip, and what I was most impressed was with her humility. She just came away just wanting to be a part of a team. Certainly the numbers that were just staggering that were dangling out there. She truly said, I want the college experience first and foremost. And for that, we're most grateful, and we're expecting capacity crowds next year to watch our entire swimming program. But Katie just wants to be a part of it. And so I'm just so impressed with just how she's handled the moment in the spotlight. And we're excited about what's to come for her.
Now, Bernard, I'm sure as the Stanford Athletic Director that you have seen this video, but on the chance that some of our viewers at home have not seen it, I want to pull it up. It's Katie Ledecky throwing out the first pitch the other night at the Nationals game. Now, when you're carrying around 5 Olympic medals, they can get heavy, I'm told. So she gets an assist from her buddy, Bryce Harper, casually asking the MVP to hold him while she throws what was close to a perfect strike.
Absolutely. Just so impressive.
It's so
she can
impressive,
do it all.
and she just did it so casually. Like, here, just hold these really quickly. She is a star. Everybody knows who she is. She is a household name now. I was told that at Stanford, incoming freshman student athletes do not get preferential housing. So is it possible that some unknowing freshman could show up to their dorm room in a couple of weeks and that Katie Ledecky could be in the top bunk?
It's totally possible. It will happen. Basically, we do not allow student athletes to room with each other. So we know she's going to have a general student with her, and they're going to be in for quite a surprise and shock to say that, hey, I've got the 5 Olympic champion as my roommate. And that's a pretty special treat, I would think, for incoming freshmen.
I would say so. All right, Brennan, before I let you go, you are in charge of a streak that I think is the most impressive in all of sports, college or otherwise. For 40 straight years, Stanford has won a national title, an NCAA national title in something. I know you don't want that streak to end on your watch. I know you won't let it. So who should we pencil in this year? Which Stanford teams are going to come home with the hardware?
Oh, Ashley, how could you do that to me as we start the school year? I would love to keep the streak alive. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but we are excited. We think we have a number of teams who are at the cusp of hopefully competing on the national stage for a title. We'll see what happens, but it is interesting to look across a number of programs just to say, hey, we could vie for a title, and that's what we want for our student athletes to wake up thinking a championship could be possible.
Last thing before we let you go, speaking of championships that are possible, the media finally wised up after all these years and picked Stanford football to win the Pac-12. First time ever in the history of the media preseason poll. I'm not sure what's going on with all of us over here. But your thoughts on the program and where David Shaw has it right now? Is there something that we're not paying attention to with the Stanford football team that we should be heading into the season opener a week from tonight?
No, I think you guys have been covering it well. Certainly to have Christian McCaffrey back and healthy and stronger and faster, which is hard to believe. And we have our quarterback named, and our defense is continuing to improve and grow. We have a lot of young guys who are learning on the job, and so we're really excited about what's to unfold. But obviously, the first and foremost, we have to concentrate on is a good K-State team coming here next Friday that's going to be competing on a great stage here. So we're looking forward to the season unfolding. The schedule is not forgiving. Thank you, Commissioner Scott, for putting together this schedule. This is such a challenging effort, but we are really excited to get it underway.
Well, we cannot wait to watch it all unfold, both with your football team and all of the other incredible athletic teams and individuals that you have down on the farm. Bernard Muir, the Director of Athletics at Stanford, thank you so much for your time and best of luck this season.
Thank you so much for having me. Look forward to seeing you down the road.